Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my humble opinion classroom. Today we are going to talk about the dark side of the IMF and World Bank loans. I just saw one headline carried by Punch newspaper that Nigeria has collected a loan from the World Bank, which accumulated up to $1.5 billion worth of loans from the World Bank. First of all, let's talk about what is a loan. What is a loan? That's the first question. Now, a loan is a financial agreement between two parties where one party, which is the lender, provides the money or other financial resources to the other party, which is the borrower, for a specific period, usually with interest. In fact, mostly with interest. That's the loan. The loan, that's the definition of a loan. Now that Nigeria has collected $1.5 billion worth of loan, to a lot of people, they'll be like, okay, now that Nigeria has collected this one, now what are we going to use the loan for? What is this loan going for? The subsidies that were removed, subsidy was removed on fuel, subsidy was removed on education. What's this money? This money that they were supposed to be paying for the subsidy, where is it going to? Where is this money going to? Now that we know what a loan is, let's talk about the consequences. I would like to call it the dark side of a loan from the World Bank or IMF. The consequences. Number one is removal of subsidy. If the World Bank or the IMF gives any third world country, which is African countries, they call us the third world countries, a loan, you will have to remove your subsidy on something. Removal of subsidy. What is removal of subsidy? What you were helping, the money that you were paying on something, you will not be paying that money again. So that money that you were paying now, where is that money going to? That's the one dark side. The number one dark side of loans from all these World Bank and IMF. The number two, the second dark side is the devaluation of currency. Your currency will be further devalued. Devaluation of currency will be like the naira now will become like a joke, because once you collect a loan from the World Bank and the IMF, definitely your currency will be devalued. Your currency will be devalued. Number three dark side is opening of borders. You have to open your borders. What is the consequences of opening your borders? When you open your borders, you have foreign goods that will come in to compete with the locally produced goods. Now, another consequence of opening your borders is that you will discourage domestic production. Yes, you are discouraging domestic production, because if I go into the market now and I'll see an Italian shoe, I'll see a shoe that was made in Aba, I will pick the Italian shoe because I will feel like it's of a better quality. I will leave the shoe made in Aba because I will feel like it's inferior quality, is of inferior quality. That is the implications when you open your border. The foreign goods that comes in will compete with your locally produced goods, and most times even beat it based on quality and everything. So what will you do? When you open your borders, you are discouraging domestic production. That's what you are doing. And when you discourage domestic production, at the long run, what does it cause? Your GDP will be dropping. It will drop. It will drop. We even in Nigeria, we go as far as importing toothpicks. We import toothpicks. Sometimes probably we might even import tissue papers. We import things we can locally produce. Things we can produce locally. That's another disadvantage of collecting a loan from the World Bank or the IMF. You have to open your border, and foreign goods will come in to compete with your locally produced goods, which will discourage domestic production. So we'll be surviving on exports, on imports. We'll be surviving on imports. While we are exporting little and imports many, we are like a dumping ground for most countries. Number four, consequences, dark side, is new colonialism. Now, neocolonialism is a different course entirely. It's a different thing. It's a different topic. It's very broad. So, but what you know about new colonialism is that Nigeria, we had independence in 1960. But from that 1960, we still had interferences and other things from foreign governments. That is no colonialism. Colonialism after colonialism is new colonialism. It's spelled NEO to appear on your screen. Colonialism after you are independent, but you are not really independent. You are still being colonized indirectly. It's part of these loans. When they are giving you loans, it's part of new colonialism. That's the new colonialism. It encompasses a lot. It involves regime change. It involves using of surrogates. Like after the First World War in 1945, a lot of new colonialism was going on because the Europeans, that's America and Russia, they were doing what was called the Cold War. They were using surrogates and they were using puppets, especially in Africa and in Vietnam, some part of Vietnam, to achieve their purposes. Capitalists and communists. Capitalism, communism. Which one will win? The dominoes effect. So now that you've known the consequences, the dark side now, this one is just, the 4 is just small. It's small. When you research further, you see that there are many dark sides. There are many consequences of collecting loans from the World Bank and IMF. Removal of subsidy, devaluation of currency, opening of your borders, and it's another form of colonialism, which is new colonialism. This 4 is just the salient one, the ones that I can talk that is noticeable. There are many, many more. So Nigeria now collecting $1.5 billion from the World Bank. Is it a good news or bad news? Ask yourself, how would it help us? Will it help us, or it will go further to ruin us? Are you going to just, if they did a census now, are you going to support collecting of loan from IMF and the World Bank? Will you support it? That's my humble opinion on that loan. I hope you learned something. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.